because the politicians and the church, they share the same constituents. When there are those gaps, they have got the right to speak. Besides even talking about the Bible, as an institution, even as individuals, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights provides for their freedom of speech. Okay? And in any case, where can the clergy air these grievances other than the platform they're being accorded? That's the church. Okay? So when these issues are raised, okay, about issues to do with high cost of living, issues to do with fuel, when these things are raised, it is for government to take it that we need to up the game. We need to live up to what we promised. They should not take a posture of having to assume a posture of beyond reproach in managing public affairs.
But Honorable, maybe one might argue to say these statements, yes, quite all right, they do sit well and represent the need of the people out there. But to some extent, it does not make a lot of sense that most of the time this church will rise up or speak out. They're going to be against government policies. So maybe they're expecting some sort of praise that has to be there. Is it always that the church has to oppose and side with the people?
The church, like I said, is the voice of the people.
Okay.
When you do well, the church must recommend you or must commend you. I mean, the church has participated time immemorial from the time of independence. You see, the church was very key in 1991 when there was change of government. The church was key when we changed from MMD to PF. The church was very committed when we changed from PF to UPND. In fact, the same father, I was reading an article which was for August 2024 to August 24, 2019, where the president himself, the current president, was appreciating the father of his role he was playing
on the Copper Belt.
On the Copper Belt. So what has changed is because they are now in power. Okay? But being in power meaning you are managing the affairs of the people. The position and the posture of the church has not changed. If you do well, why will you be afraid? Why will you be scared of criticism? So for me, yes, when the government does well, they ought to be commended.
Are you politicians advisable? Let me ask you this question now, Honorable, because you are a politician, a former member of parliament. Are you politicians, do you take criticism lightly? When people begin to critique you, do you take it as them being your enemies, or them trying to refine you or mold you so that you become a perfect leader? Why are you politicians so allergic to advice, if I may put it that way?
Firstly, if you talk about criticism, constructive criticism is part and parcel of a democratic process. When people raise these issues, when people raise about these gaps, they are saying government, there is need to relook on these issues. When people complain about the availability and the prices of milling meal, he's saying government do something about it. Right now there's the issue of ZESCO and load shedding. When people talk, they say do something about it. So criticism is part and parcel of a democratic process. Why is it so? Because it gives the government an edge to improve. But the moment you want to see criticism, as my concern is that every time when this happens, there's always a brawl between PF and UPND, and they say, no, you are bitter, and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is that when criticism comes, look at yourself, do a self-introspection, reflect. When these things are being raised, are they true or not? Regardless of the approach which they have been transmitted, okay? Are they true or not? If true, what are you going to do about it? Because as a government, you've been entrusted to manage the lives of the people, the public affairs, and you have the duty and the responsibility to be accountable and transparent to the stockholders. And one of the stockholders is the church. Secondly, the issue, why are leaders allergic to criticism? Firstly, as a leader, also it depends on the personal temperament of a person. Is it a person who is easily listens? Okay, is it a person who easily forgives? Those are personal issues. But however, a good leader must take to listen when people are talking. You know, even when people are praising you, don't be quick to jump. Okay? And also, when people are criticizing you, don't be quick to repel those sentiments. So, good leader must do a lot of listening, So, even as a